Hi, this is John Patrick Hickey. I want to thank you for joining me for this video cast. Did you know that about 20%, studies have shown about 20% of people who graduate from college never read another book? Seems shocking, but that's true. I mean, ask yourself, and I know that I'm going to hit some people on the head here because of just the averages. How many books have you read in the last year? A lot of people don't read books, and especially reading for the purpose of actually learning something. Now, I have no problem with people reading fiction. I think that fiction is good. I encourage it. I especially encourage people reading the classics because you can learn a lot from them, not only the style of writing and having a good story and a great adventure, but there's so much that is in great literature. And you can read old stuff, you can read new stuff, whatever. I have no problem with reading fiction, but I think it's important that we also take time to read books that help us, that improve us as human beings, that improve our areas of expertise and skill. If you have a job working in a particular area, how knowledgeable are you? If the only knowledge you have, if the only thing you have to fall back on is what you were taught in school, and you've been out of school for the last 5 years, let's say, then you're way behind. You are just falling so behind on things because things change and they change rapidly. To really be on top of your profession, you have to constantly be learning, constantly be reading. And reading journals and articles and trade magazines, all of that is helpful, but you're going to find much more knowledge in people who are producing good, solid books on any particular subject. Do you know if you only read 5 books in the course of a year, that in 10 years you've read 50 books on any particular subject? You know, if you read more than that, my average for reading, and I'm not putting myself up as the example, I am an avid reader. I love reading books. It inspires me, it helps me, and as a writer and someone who attempts to teach these principles to other people, I have to be up on my game. I have to constantly be learning and constantly be educating myself in order that I can pass that education on to other people. On average, I usually read anywhere from 50 to 60 books in the course of a year. And I know people who read much more than that. I know people who read over 100 books in a year. And it's not a race. It's not something that we're doing to try to just chalk up numbers of how many books I've read. There's a purpose behind each and every book that I read. Some books are older and they're classics and I can only get them from used bookstores because they've been out of print for years. Others are brand new. There are many times I can hear about a book because I'm always on the alert of what's out there, or I hear somebody speak and I like what they're saying, so they've written a book and I go out and I'll buy that book. And you know, a lot of times I'll buy books before they're on the market. I'll buy them and you know, you just have to wait for the publishing date, but you've already paid for it, it's already yours, and you get those books. You can get regular books, you can get Kindle books, you know, there's so many different forms that we can get. We have an abundance of literature. The fact that people don't read is, to me, one of the most tragic parts of our society. Because the people who don't read don't learn. People who don't learn are the people who end up being oppressed. Why? Because they have nothing to fight with. You might think that your personal opinion and your desire for freedom in whatever area of life you want is enough to get you by. It isn't. You have to have intelligence. You have to be able to look at life, analyze it properly, gain the knowledge, and give that knowledge out. And let me add to this, that you're not going to get that knowledge from school. I don't care how many degrees you have. I know people who have an armful of degrees who are basically fools. They don't understand anything because all they know is what they've learned, what they've been told. They don't think. They don't go through that process of analyzing the things that they're learning and comparing it with other things that they're learning. You know, education has to happen from within. It can't be without. If all you know is what somebody else tells you, then you're extremely limited. The purpose of education should be always to help you to think, to teach you how to learn so that you can learn from life. You can learn to move on. I'm not against higher education. I don't want somebody doing surgery on me who just has book knowledge. I want them to go through an education process. But that's not necessary for everything because everybody's not going to be a surgeon. You can learn a great deal. And even then, that surgeon is going to learn a lot more on his own or her own than you'll ever get in school. They're constantly learning. They're constantly bringing in information. They're constantly discovering new techniques. They think, they process, they grow. It's the people who don't, those know-it-alls who think that I have all the education I need, I don't need to learn anymore. No one's going to tell me anything I don't know. Well, anybody. The kid at the fast food restaurant can teach you something if you're an ability to learn. If you have the ability to take in information from everything around you, everyone has something that they can teach you. Even if that something is what not to do, everyone has something that they can teach you. Read. Reading is one of your most fundamental rights, and when it's taken away from you, you really lose. That's what conquers people. It's lack of knowledge. It's lack of the ability to learn that make people victims of other people because you don't have the process of thinking. Learn, read, think, educate yourself. This is the most important thing you will do. And when you do it, you'll find that you'll even be better equipped to always be your best. You'll love God, have good manners, discover the unknown, and change your world. Hi, this is John Patrick Hickey again. I want to thank you for spending this time with me during this video cast. Now, there's a couple things I just want to quickly ask you to do. For one, at the bottom of the screen, you're going to find a little button that says subscribe. I ask that you subscribe to these videos so that each time they come out, they come directly to you. You don't have to search for them, and you can keep up to date with each video cast. The second thing is I want you to contact us. Let us know what it is you'd like to hear about. What, in the process of you achieving your goals, what do you feel that you need to know? And we'll see if we can help. You can do that by contacting us at our website, which is www.johnpatrickhickey.com. That's www.johnpatrickhickey.com. And I hope that you join us again for every video cast.